Michael's told us some things about the night of the rescue. We've since learned he was raped that night, and that they were in the basement and they heard a loud noise, and it stopped his perpetrator from continuing to rape him. And at that point, the police had broken down the door, and he was upset that the perpetrator was on the floor in handcuffs. He said, "They're hurting him, they're hurting him." Michael was upset that the police threw his abuser to the ground.
That was Rochelle talking about the night 5-year-old Michael was rescued after years of horrific sexual abuse. Now, his abuser created and distributed child pornography by videotaping and photographing the abuse of young Michael as well as other children. Now, Rochelle and Travis thought they were doing everything possible to help Michael recover. Then something happened in the dark of the night. Something unthinkable.
When they first came into our home, we had no idea how damaged these children were. Michael was in shock. He was just an empty shell. He was scared, nervous. I'll never forget the look on his face. Around the age of 9 is when things started going downhill.
While sitting on my lap, he tried to grab my crotch.
Michael would rub himself on furniture. He would rub himself on people. We noticed he would try to spy on people while they were in the bathroom.
Michael, on several occasions, would try to peek into our bedroom and the bathroom and peek in on my wife and my daughter.
We had problems with his sister not wanting to get on the school bus, and we later found out that he was touching her on the school bus. I would wake up in the middle of the night and Michael would be standing over my bed just staring at me. That gave me the creeps.
On one occasion, he had tried to touch her over the covers.
One night I was sleeping, I was having a dream, and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move. I felt like I was trapped.
I woke up to her screaming and looked and saw Michael. He was just getting off of her face, and his pants were down and he was pulling his pants up.
I didn't want to believe that of my child. No one thinks their child's capable of that at 10 years old.
Later, this same type of incident occurred, but this time when I woke up, he had his hand on my genitals. I just couldn't believe what had happened.
Michael's acts were calculated. We later found out he planned them. He watched to see our sleeping patterns. It was really scary.
The reason for having this conversation and dialogue is because, on the one hand, you have great compassion because you know what he's been subjected to, right?
Exactly.
And so you think about that, but then on the other hand, the things that he is doing are so unthinkable, regardless of the origin. It's still an issue that has to be dealt with, and that's the tug of war that you guys are in, right?
Yes, it's the unimaginable. I mean, who thinks that their 10-year-old child could offend on them, and that your mind just cannot even go there?
At some point, you become both Michael's parent and his victim.
Yes, correct.
Exactly. That's how we feel.
I thought, it has to be a dream. I've never heard in my life of a 10-year-old molesting their mother, but more and more signs started showing up.
Were you concerned about the children in your home, in your own house?
Yes, we were
And
very
how did you monitor and watch this?
We set up video monitors, baby cameras, around the house so we could watch everyone.
We also sought the help of therapists, clinicians, and outside sources at this point.
And they told you he was doing well.
Yes.
Yes.
Said, things are going well. He's doing okay. But that wasn't the case.
No, my gut said something isn't right, but he had all the right answers. He was able to tell them all the things they needed to.
Yeah, what you have to understand is he's very smart, very calculated and methodical in his thinking.
Yes.
So these were not just acting out sexual things that he was doing.
We were told that this was typical sexual acting out for a child who's been through what he has been through, and that Michael was working on it with his therapist. My gut said something more was going on, but...
And you were told when this young man hits puberty that this could trigger a whole new set of behaviors, right? This could create
Correct.
an intensification in additional behaviors.
Correct, but we had no idea this is what they meant by that.
And we didn't know so soon that this sort of thing might happen.
At 10 years old.
All right, well, we're going to take another break. Rochelle and Travis' two biggest fears are what will happen to them if Michael returns home and what will happen to him if he doesn't. It is a terrible, terrible dilemma. We'll be right back.